Hello, welcome to Supreme Commander Forged Alliance. Softly versus Be'lakor. It's Mad Mozart versus Dilly Dally. I believe that's Dilly Dally Softly. Been playing the latter a lot more recently. Nice to see. EF versus Aeon. Definitely an advantage with our auras crossing the middle river. But UEF with the Riptide are always very strong here. We'll see what happens. A lot of the fighting is just let deck one land. Also EF has a whole bunch of cool tools for this. But I wanted to mention Zep has been casting quite a bit in case you haven't noticed. If you haven't, definitely go over to his channel. He's got a lot of good Supreme Commander Forged Alliance videos. One thing that he does with these is he plays them at +4, so you can go through a very long game pretty quick, which is pretty nice. I think it's slightly different from what I usually do at +2, which I did not miss too many things. But this map usually has a very worked out build orders. If you can get this Hydra quick, go second air with less than 7 pigeons. This is 6, still pretty heavy on power. You can probably do it with 5, a little bit of reclaim here. Softly already has his. Yeah, Softly I think might be at a. Actually, I think it's almost identical build orders from these two players. And of course, the usual thing, Softly is gonna. Well, actually, it's not really clear where is his ACU. Sometimes the orders just don't show up. I'm not really sure why. Scout, Bomber versus Interceptor. Interceptor should win unless his Bomber is hidden. And in terms of raids, this is a very defensive. I think Southwick probably pushed that a little harder, though there's an Aurora. You would expect an advancing engineer through this position. Yeah, it's good defensive Auroras and Spirits. And this Bomber from Be'lakor did not get killed. And one thing about playing against Be'lakor, usually always has very strong air. Yeah, you always got to build a whole bunch of air factories expecting to play against them. And that's a good way to play, is be very aggressive with air, win air, and you have total recon over the field. So first bombs, factory producing that bomber didn't get any other kills except that engine. ACU for Softly is a little quicker across. If you can start a base here, the ACU has different options, either going for map control, taking these 4 mask structures, or you can go across the river, try to challenge the ACU, or you can go directly into the enemy base. If you can get a good foothold on the other side, lots of opportunities to assault from the top. Same thing from the bottom. If you lose this position, then really difficult to assault unless, of course, you're Aeon at deck 1 stage. 2 land factories, 2 engineers on the power spam. And one thing we can see, Softly way ahead on power is actually wasting some. Be'lakor not wasting any power, but maybe a bit surprising. He's got a lot of assist on air. Yeah, no, so yeah. That's not surprising, a big power stall. 2 engineers making power, but he's behind significantly. Bit of an air fight that Be'lakor has won. Yeah, that's always amazing. Some players have less power but still dominate air. That's where the micro comes in, or knowing when to have that air fight. Softly. See, he's gonna get some more air factories. He's gonna have 3. It's going to be versus 1 with a whole bunch of assists. And this will be a fairly important fight. And this can actually go down to micro. With proper micro, these Auroras should win, but if they're not careful, they can easily lose. And yeah, it looks like Softly wasn't really paying attention there. Elsewhere, also a fairly important fight that Softly might actually win, and Softly could be in position to take over the entire top side of the map. You should be able to kill these 2 factories. Meanwhile, Bellicor making his way across. Oh, that engineer should not have died. Perhaps stick to air. Bellicor has now surpassed Softly in power. And under these circumstances, it's good to go tech to air when you have this much build capacity in your air factory. Mercies, if there's a fight right here, Mercy would be great. Both players establishing a Tech 1 PD to fight around, and interesting. I think this is probably bad micro from Softly that it didn't take over. Critical victory for Bellicor. And Aurora versus PD. PD is gonna win. Noob side bot. That was my favorite character in Mortal Kombat. Yeah, that's a badass character. Yeah, some of those classic games that you played when you were like 15. Yeah, those will stay with you forever. Just like, well, this game stays with you forever physically. Second attempt for Softly. I think this time he should be able to easily win the lot of reclaim in this position. So Bellicor might choose actually. No, looks like he's going to keep his ACU up on top, but he might actually lose over here as well. So major land losses now for Bellicor. He has got more power. He's going tech to air. He still has air control. His bomber's doing a good job. And any tech 2 yet from Softly? I think going tech 2 on land would be very good as you get versus Aeon. Riptide plus yeah, basically the Riptide is all you need. Also cruise missiles on this map are typically good. And defenseless tech 1. This might actually give Bellicor a chance to come in and grab all this mass. Maybe not completely rebuild, but at least grab the mass. So total air domination versus significant land domination between these two players, and the result is it's quite even. And on top, this could be a total disaster for Softly. He will at least lose 4, maybe even 6 Tech 1 mass extractors. That's going to be a big chunk of his income. Tech 2 gunships out for Bellicor. I'm not really sure what happened there, why Softly just gave that up. On the other side, Softly might be in a position to do a similar piece of work. And yeah, fight here is still not over. However, now we see Softly has crossed the river. He's going to establish a base, and Softly is going to have these 2 central bases. That's going to put him in a very big it's a positional advantage if he can hold on to this. Imagine Bellicor is going to make his way across. We're going to see an ACU and ACU battle, and that's something very dangerous for Softly. We already see. I was just thinking Mercies, 2 Mercies. These 2 planes, if they hit, that's 12,000 damage. That's what Softly has. Oh no, sorry. It's 3,500. So you need. That's about 10,000 damage. Sticking by cruise missiles, 6,000 damage per missile. Mercies, I believe, are 3,000. We might actually get to see. Yeah, I think the Mercies are going to come in. A lot of Tech 1 flak, and Softly playing it correctly. Keeping the Tech 1. Those were the swift ones. The Mercies coming in from the side. That's 3 of them. And with these mountains, it's going to be... oh, I think that was 3, about 9,000 damage. Yeah, I think it's 3,000 damage per Mercy. One more Mercy and this game would have been over. Big push from the top from Softly. And yes, 6 mass extractors denied by Bellicor up on top, but I think these Auroras are going to die, and Softly. One thing about these 2 players, the transports really haven't been used. Transports on this map, very powerful. You want to put engineers into these reclaim pits as quick as possible. But both players on land doing a lot of damage to each other. As we see a defenseless Tech 1 force is going to get demolished. That's going to be a lot of reclaim in this position. I'm not really sure why Softly continues to push. He needs to save his units. And this is where Tech 2 land would have been great if you could have had support Tech 2 land factory here. A couple Tech 2 flak would dominate. And wow, I think Be'lakor has finally lost air. Although he's got a couple swift wins, he's lost a lot of his gunships. And overall, just map control all in Softly's favor. If he can get engineers everywhere as quick as possible, he's going to have a huge advantage in terms of mass income. In terms of upgrading, these are all Tech 1, well, 1 Tech 2, 1.5 Tech 2 mass extractors for Be'lakor. This is critical. This is fairly defenseless except for 1 Tech 1 PD. Be pretty easy to kill. I think, yeah, that's also a big chunk of Be'lakor's. It's a third or about a quarter of Be'lakor's total income. Softly is lower on power, which probably not very good at this point. Yeah, you want to be getting upgrades to Tech 2 engineering for Softly. He's almost power stalling. Gunships versus interceptors. Looks like gunships retreating. As actually, let's check out the reclaim competition. Only 1,400 for Be'lakor. Softly at 5,000. That's a huge difference. I'm not really sure why this. I guess this was a pretty big. This is a big victory for Softly. And did that translate into any Tech 2 mass extractors? This is the first one. Both players here, first 20 minutes, has been all out fighting. Not a lot of anything else. No upgrading, no teching. It's just been fighting. The only piece of teching was this air factory, and now Softly has Tech 2 on his ACU. And a push. Oh, this PD should have been taken out by something. That's a big waste of units. 10 kills. Still alive, 11. 12 tanks, 13. No patience. 14 tanks died because of that. 700 mass. Yeah. Buy 3 of these for that price. I'll actually speed this up. Looks like we basically have one avenue of assault from the top for Softly. Be'lakor. It's just been teching now and going Tech 2 land. Finally some Tech 2 land. And superior numbers up on top. I think if Softly moved in right now, which he's going to do, he should have some success as long as he doesn't linger around the ACU. Just go around the ACU, start killing. And Tech 2 land, where's the HQ? This is a lot of Tech 2 land. This is the HQ. Going Tech 3, Softly going straight to Tech 3. He's got a big advantage in terms of mass. These are support Tech 2 factories, so this is basically the last one. Some more Tech 1 being built up on top. And now, did I see some engineers here? I thought I saw a drop. Be critical to get engineers in this position for Softly. As a land victory for Be'lakor, Tech 1 versus Tech 1, Aeon wins, which means a lot of reclaim scattered all over the place. But 2 huge opportunities for reclaim for Softly. That's why it's nice to have his transport. Getting something like this or like that, couple engineers, you get a huge boost immediately. But we're not seeing that. And one thing about Softly, he hasn't built any power in a very long time. He's already getting Tech 3 land, and it's always good to invest in power, because once he actually gets all this reclaim, all this mass, he barely has enough for what he's doing now. He's going to totally crash. Yeah, finally he's got some Tech 2 power, good. He's also got a shield. This is very nice to have. This is directly in the middle. Putting a Tech 2 radar here or some cruise missile launchers has a really good potential, especially later on in the game once you start seeing Tech 2 mass extractors spread out all over the place. Having a cruise missile in the middle, very good. Lots of Tech 2 flak, so these gunships from Be'lakor are not going to be very good. Yeah, overall, I think Be'lakor is kind of screwed, except, Tech 3 land. Harbies. Let's see if the Harbies can bring back. Yeah, this one shot, one kill versus Tech 1. These are extremely deadly units. Plus they can reclaim the wrecks afterwards. And one great thing about the Harbies is how quick it is. The only weakness it has against other assault bots is that it has shorter range. Yeah, this is what we call a massacre. And now I can go ahead patrol these and get all that mass. It's like a few thousand. Harby up on top, 21 kills. You can imagine it was a solo mission. Another Harby dropped off. Oh, you can see how Bellicor is just taking back the map with the Tech 3. This is why we have this Tech 3 from Softly, but it's a fairly vulnerable position. Don't want to get overrun. Some Percy's being put up. And don't get killed by Artie, please. Oh, I think the last second moves out of the way. He needs to get that shield back. And I think this is where a couple Tech 2 gunships would have been nice against this Harby. Yeah, no. Is it gonna happen? Oh god. Huge kill. Very sad for Bellicor. So now we're gonna have a very important front line between Softly and Bellicor in this position. Up on top, the Harby I think could have been a big nuisance if it didn't die. But yeah, something is gonna have to happen on top, at least to support Tech 3 Land Factory or gunships. Otherwise these Harbies will go as far as Softly's base. Here these three Percys can have a chance to take back some land. It will depend on intel, and no intel for these Percys. Now finally some intel. This is a critical scout for Softly. We'll spot these. Oh, these are support factors. This is a major Percy spam, and somehow Bellicor is not caught up in terms of mass income. Bellicor has been upgrading. So we're going to upgrade a couple of these. And in the middle, yeah, Tech 2 Raider, but no cruise missiles. And now this is a pretty big Percy force. 7 Percys. Harby's being funneled down, but under equal numbers, the Percys will win. Yeah, it's always AN versus EF at the Tech 3 stage. Once you get into a large numbers fight, the Percys just dominate. If you can't micro individually. Up on top we have another massacre. Yeah, just total number of Tech 3 is so much higher for Bellicor. This is a bit of a mistake from Softly. He should have waited and attacked in one group. This is going to be a big prize for whoever wins this. I think Harbies might actually, in this close range, it'll be very close. But I think Harbies is still going to win. However, a couple more, Percy's are going to win, but the Harbies will come in and clean up. Yeah, elsewhere, major problem. This is where getting the ACU involved would be very nice. This is transported Percys to the front line. These are going to be critical. This could be a mistake. Oh, and if Bellicor just gave a move order just a little earlier, but now I think it'll be a successful defense. But Bellicor just really turned this game on its head. You can see he's now ahead by 40 mass. He has left a couple nice juicy wrecks, but this is really where huge wrecks are, and Bellicor has control over this position. This is, yeah, you see the reclamation. Bellicor now at 20,000 reclaimed. Power stalling, Softly, 11,000. Yeah, twice as much reclaimed now for Bellicor. A lot of it via these Harbies. This is where these Percys, they gotta attack, use their range. And maybe for Softly here, he just needs to put the gun on his ACU, join a couple Percies, and start pushing. It's dangerous, but I don't think he has any other options. Looking at, oh, look at this, Tech 3 mass extractors for Bellicor. Huge income. Yeah, I want to speed this up. I really did think Softly was in a good position, but Bellicor just sat back and tanked for a little while. And now Harbies versus Percies. When Harbies move in hard in close range, they're very good. And even more reclaim now. This has been enough reclaim for an experimental for Bellicor. This really has subsidized his economy. He's now at 23,000, so much in the bank. Yeah, not looking good for Softly. Still got a lot of this good build capacity, but I don't even think he's got the mass to feed all those factories. And this is critical that he dropped off these engineers. The Harveys with numbers. It'll be critical for the Harveys to kill the engineers. Alright, so these two engineers need to work real hard, and maybe dropping off a couple more engineers here would be also a good idea. And yeah, if you just keep spamming Percies, eventually they will win. And actually the number of Harbies on the field for Bellicor has really dropped. He's switched to Tech 3 Air. He's got a single resource allocation, and he's got Strat Bombers. Let's see what these Strat Bombers can hit. They can, well, it would take a little bit of work to kill that shield. But those T2 P-Gens would be really nice. Oh, we see Percies versus Strat Bomb. That sucks. That will force an air fight. In a very close fight, but I think if that Strat Bomber is still alive. Oh, it's elsewhere. One kill, one big kill. It will come in, and once it hits these, yeah, the Harbies can come in. Strat's really hurt. His injured Percies won't be able to hold their own. So some Tech 2 flag is now being produced, needs to go on the front lines. Map control has actually shifted in Softly's favor, who is caught up on mass. Almost caught up. He does not have any Tech 3 mass extractors. It's all because of map control. Harby escapes through, takes out Tech 2 mass extractors. We'll take out a couple Tech 2 flags. And Percy's really taking over the top. This game has gone through a couple back and forths. That's the great thing about the Aeon strat. One shot, one kill against these Tech 2 mass extractors. And really good micro from Bellicor. He led with that Strat Bomber directly into the Swift Twins and a bunch of Tech 2 flags. So he guaranteed that if he got a fight in this position, he was going to win, and he completely dominated. Which has kept his strats alive, and these strats have been very good. This is what you got to do when you're facing EEF, and you've won the initial Tech 3 land battles, but you know eventually the Percies will overwhelm. You have to switch up to Tech 3 Air, and that's exactly what Bellicor has done. We are seeing now some Tech 3 from Softly. He's got Tech 3 anti-air, so strats don't want to fly there. And Tech 3 power, and I imagine after that Tech 3 power, perhaps some Tech 3 air. But a lot of Tech 3 support factories, so a lot of build capacity for Softly to produce Percies, as long as he can get that mass. And he has been in control of this critical position. It's been a great place to put a bomb. Is there... oh, now there are restorers. Yeah, I think these Harbies... yeah, with the help of a strat, perhaps they could do something. That strat's very lucky. Now resties, until you get Tech 3 air, you gotta use Tech 2 flak against these. Some yeah, more advanced Tech 3 air. This is a very good anti-air position for softly, but you really need some mobile Tech 3 I guess there is not Tech 3 mobile anti-air, but you need some Tech 2 or a Tech 3 stationary all over the top. Now, yeah, the restorers will kill anything that isn't protected by Tech 2 flak. Yeah, but one place you don't want to fly if you're Bellicor. Softly back down to 5,000 or 50 mass. Yeah, this is why Tech 3 mass extractors directly in your base are so valuable. You can lose a little bit of map control, but you can still have a huge income. It's and now more than halfway down to the GC. This GC is going to be deadly. This is where we've seen Bellicor switch back and forth. Tech 3 land, Tech 3 air, now back to GC. So it's perfect to assault with that, given how much Softly has invested in all this Tech 3 AA. We're still seeing the restorers they can maneuver around. It looks like Bellicor really has a lot of mass. Yeah, he reclaimed 47,000. Still has a bunch in the bank. 58,000 for Softly, so he's 10,000 ahead. However, there is now a GC on the field, minute 45. And Restorer's laughing at Tech 3 anti-air. That's rather sad. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be victories all around. After that a series of strat bombs from Bellicor, Softly really hasn't been able to produce anything. He really hasn't made anything except a couple Tech 3 AAs. Anything that he did make was such small numbers that the Harpies ran it over. Now as you see through the middle, Softly will run into the water. Really no hope at this point. Yeah, great use of Aeon from Bellicor. It really was necessary to play this well. UEF, if you just play default Tech 3 land spam, UEF eventually wins. A whole bunch of Tech 3 mass extractors. Yeah, there's nothing that you can do about it, you see. You would need a whole bunch of Percies to stop that. There goes Softly. So hopefully people enjoy this.